Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, a replay was sent in by the Quail, and he is playing for our pleasure the G.91 R, the German premium battle rating 8.7 rank 5 premium jet fighter, which I personally don't really like all that much. Not just because it's a copy-paste of the Italian one, just with a different skin, and gladly it's not the eye-cancering tiger skin or whatever it is called. It's a more conventional skin. And I think that the reason why this plane is none of my favorites is because I never really could achieve anything where I could say, okay, you get a semi-reliable result for actual grinding. This is one of the aspects where I'm a bit more critical about premium jets versus, non-premium jets, because, you're kind of forced to play it for Civil Lines and RP, not just for a few dozen games or till you spended it, but for probably hundreds of games. And this plane ain't cheap. 9,000 golden eagles, which is roughly $45 or euros. I mean, what you get is a beautiful aircraft. I mean, look at the missiles. It's like the jet version of the Typhoon Mark 1B. Where the 20 millimeters are sticking out in an evil way. And so you have 4 air-to-air missiles and 4 50 cals. This is those two things are the main difference between the R3 versions, which has 30 millimeters, which hit significantly harder than the 50 cals, but you have no missiles. I mean, you have some rockets which you can kind of use as flak rockets, but that is very situational, to say the least. Anyway, I don't like the map. It is Afghanistan, alternative history to be precise, and we are in 50 Shades of Grey. You barely see the aircraft in the cloud, right? And the clouds are everywhere. So where it actually comes in is the performance. The performance of the plane overall kind of is fine, just where it is, it's too slow. When you're fighting Voitures and MiG-15s and Sabres, you're kind of too slow. And jets are mostly all about speed. And also to get the missiles on target, because they are AIM-9Bs, that is the tricky part. Before I continue here the talking and, the commentary on the battle, the thing about the lack of content for the past couple of days is because there was actually, or there is still nice weather outside, so I spent a lot of time going out and doing some fishing, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I also haven't really played War Thunder in the past couple of days, 10 days, nearly 2 weeks, and I think that it is a necessary break to get some energy in, and to regain some interest in the game, which I have played for a nearly daily basis, or on a nearly daily basis, for the past 7 years. Give me a break, quite literally. So yeah, we are now 4 minutes into the game. Bombers are killing bombers, fighters are killing bombers, bombers are killing fighters. We have the first casualties, and the Quail is not even close to the combat zone, still trying to catch some altitude and speed, and he is barely 4,000 meters above the ground. Not even, that's the overall altitude, because this is you're starting already at what, 1.6 1.7 kilometers, and there he makes the first turn. And just look at how this plane bleeds speed, and he is firing an AIM-9B on an MD-452-2A that is flying close to the direction of the sun, and despite all the odds, the missile hits. 1 missile shot, 1 kill. Can you really complain? Oh my god, this is actually working out pretty nicely. I probably wouldn't have achieved this in 4 tries, so good on him. I still think that the plane, aside from its astonishing aesthetics, doesn't really have all that much going for it. Also the 50 cals. I mean, I overall like 50 cals, and those are probably the R3 variant, but you don't have the time on target to do a significant amount of damage And you also only have 4, so you don't even have the bursting mass, you don't have the stopping power. And very often, even if you damage the enemy plane, somebody else swoops in, connects a couple of 30mm, and he gets the kill. And you want to get all the RP and silver lines in this plane. So far, the action has not been dramatic. We are now approaching 6 minutes of gameplay. This is where the majority of chat fights is already decided. But you can see on the timer, we have a match in front of us that takes 23 minutes. So, next target, the other G.91. I mean, there are so many throughout the tech trees now. Sadly, he misses the gun run on the enemy F-86, and gladly this plane doesn't have missiles, otherwise he would be in a bit of trouble. Although dodging those AIM-9Bs, it's not the most difficult job in the world. And I think that this is one of the good changes about the missile changes, that now you have not an automatic acoustic signal that warns you and you just roll all over the place and dodge it without skill. No, you have to be vigilant, which this F-86 wasn't, so he got the kill. But he would have never gotten this kill with any sort of guns, because of the lack of performance. The other F-86A5 got killed, and this looks like a waste of ammunition, but in fact, if you think about it, if you now would snipe the pilot, that would give you an already shot down plane a kill assist, which is more RP and silver lines. Which is exactly why you play those premiums, right? So, 2 missiles fired and 2 kills. What to complain about? It looks so easy, and this is sometimes the stuff about sent in replays, where I'm just so mad that people make it look so easy, but from my own experience I know it's not that easy, and it's very situational, and you have to have the stars align themselves. This F2H also comes for the head-on run. He tries to loop around. A quick burst goes out, and yeah, this is a little bit of a disconnect with the replay because he actually hit the F2H. And this is also, he kind of has the assist now safe. But again, on enemies that are tunnel visioning, the missiles are great. So the F2H is going for the gun run on the ME-163, and got killed in the process because he didn't look around. I think he could have easily dodged a missile, but he was not aware it is coming. So I think for planes like the G.91, this is a welcome change. The problem about the R3 is you don't see the problem in this battle all so much up until now, and that is that you just simply don't have the speed. Even if you take min fuel and you don't use any air-to-air missiles, then you're still oh so slow, and even if you pick up speed, you lose it significantly quicker than other planes because you don't have the engine power. And yeah, other planes just can make you bleed the energy all over the place. So there are 3 teammates left alive, another R4 and also an R3 variant, and I think at this time there are only 2 enemy players left alive. Spoiler alert, both of them are Vautour 2s, and those are some powerful bombers, and also they have 4 30mm in the nose, so the head-on is always interesting to say the least, and you better roll out of the way. Good. But the thing is, he turns. The Vautour turns, and that is a big mistake. While he can't get him with 50 cals, he fires the missile, and 4th missile, 4th kill. That's the absolute dream scenario. I mean, 4 kills in any chat is great, but in this chat, also much more. And also 4 missiles fired, and all of them were kills. That is great. It looks like, you know, that's the usual thing, but very often, as I said, people can dodge them, and not every hit is automatically a kill, and I got too many kill assists as I would like to admit. Now, this Vautour now has the benefit of speed and that the Quail is out of missiles. And you can see how it just zooms away. Those 2 engines the heavy weight of the plane, it has fantastic energy retention, and it just can keep climbing for days, and even at high altitude it has superior performance. So at this point the limitations of the replay kick in. I have no idea how much 50 cal ammo and how much fuel the Quail has left, but he is heading back to the airfield, and please watch the timer on top. We are now approaching the 11-minute mark, and I have to make in a short while a little bit of a cut, because then things happen. And in the nick of time, it requires to make the cut. One of his teammates has now already crashed, and his second teammate is going into the direction of where the Voiture was last seen. And let's see how this goes. There is the Voiture 2, and yeah, Voiture wins. Yeah, the 430mm are no joke, and I don't know if it even damaged the Voiture 2. And when he then went finally for the landing, a little bit of a problem has happened. He has endured the boom and zoom runs, and he has activated the wrong order, because the AAA order is the one that triples your silver line earnings on the kills that you made. His spider senses were tingling, and he kind of made a little bit of a movement dodging the attack run of the Voiture. Despite the cloud layer on top of the airfield at 1700 meters of altitude, he can't land under the circumstances that there is a Voiture. Again, we are now 16 minutes into the game. Has he chosen the 20 minutes fuel option? I don't know. But you can see this is now where he is really busy trying to dodge the Voiture, which he only can guess where he's coming from. And does the Voiture see him? Yeah, if he would have chosen the Avenger order or something like this, then he would see where the Voiture is heading. And you can see he is just not regaining the energy all that much. And his only chance is to make here the dodging before the Voiture even chooses to make the attack run. Minutes later, again we are now 18 minutes into the game. Still guesswork. He has not landed. You can see also that he doesn't have any sort of air-to-air missiles, which would be really great to have right now. And he's just barely above the ground, a kilometer or so, and also below 700. And this is where the Voiture makes a critical mistake, and while he doesn't kill him, this is now the game changer, quite literally, because now he has put a timer on the Voiture 2, because one of his engines is now damaged. And on top of this, he might also bleed some fuel. So when an engine or a turbine on a jet gets damaged, it almost instantly loses a lot of power, and you don't have that much time left. This is one of the big difference between a jet engine and a prop engine. So he's now guessworking where he is going, and before in time the AAA order has to run out. So yep, there it is. The AAA order has been finished, and this is now making way for another order potentially, where he then can spot the Voiture 2 for quite some time, which gives him an absolute monstrous advantage in the clouds. So let's have a look at the leaderboard, and there you can see it is a 1 versus 1, and the other Voiture also has 3 kills. That is something that indicates that this guy is also a good premium player. He knows how to use the Voiture, and yeah, you better roll out of the head-on. Wise choice here. But when to catch the Voiture, that's the thing, that's the question, because if he plays on time, well, he also could make it back to the airfield, and then a Voiture that has fresh fuel and undamaged engines, you're really never gonna catch him, especially if the Quail is also short on fuel. And you can see he's turning away. He's thinking about returning to the airfield. Maybe his engine is now running on fumes. We are now 20 minutes into the game. I don't know. He has powered down his engine. He has not wasted fuel with the with the afterburner because, well, he doesn't have one. And also, you know, somebody goes only moments later into the game, almost a minute. So we're probably in the last minute of the fuel capacity if he has chosen the 20 minutes fuel option. Or he has taken the 30 minutes fuel option to have more endurance. That's the question. So now he has activated the blind hunt order, and so he can spot the Voiture. And this is making the critical difference because he sees when the Voiture is turning back. He has baited him coming back into the clouds, and this is where a 50 cal does the 50 cal thing and sets the Voiture on fire. But as we can see in the battle chat, it's an engine fire. That's not necessarily lethal, although that engine is not gonna last forever. In fact, it might be completely black already, so actually destroyed. And now watch where the Voiture 2 is going. He's going above the allied airfield, and so he probably takes further damage. And as we can see now, the Quail is actually catching up significantly to a Voiture 2 that is also on similar altitude as him. The Voiture can't beat him in an actual maneuvering fight if both pilots are somewhat capable of maneuvering their planes. And there, yeah, he has accepted his fate and he actually rams into the building. And that's an ace for the Quail. It just went perfectly well. The 4 air-to-air missile kills and then also winning a duel in the long run with the use of perfect orders and maneuvering and good aim with the 50 cals. And you can see how he's cheering with the smoke. He's doing all the rolls. He actually knows what he has achieved. He nailed it. He carried his team, and that is where we look at the post-battle results. So for 5 kills he got 123,000 civilians and 40,000 RP, and I think that is without a booster if I see this correctly. So that was astonishing, that was amazing, and thank you for sending it in perfectly with the replay file and the post-battle results screenshot attached to an email. This is how I love it. So if you have also a really crazy game and you think this is worth, please send me an email the correct way as described in the video description down below. And that's it from me today. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if it did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.